Now let us see Shinran's view of the true land. Shinran's definition of the true land as a land of immeasurable light, the world without a border that keeps on expanding. So this world is called a land of immeasurable. Immeasurable means not limited, unlimited. Limitless light. This land does not have any limit or border. Okay, so I put these lines here. Okay, so this is a land that is constantly expanding. There's no border, no border, borderless. That's what limitless or immeasurable means. Borderless land. But this land, it has a clear kind of this line, okay, border. So you stay within it. You can distinguish, this is the pure land, and outside is impure land. Okay? But here, pure land and impure land, this distinction becomes blurred, or samsara becomes nirvana. The impurity becomes purity. And so this pure land and impure land, the pure land is expanding, the kind of absorbing the so-called impure land, or transforming impure land into pure land. That is the working of the Buddha's wisdom, transforming the negative into the positive. This is a land in which the wisdom is expanding, encompassing. What people consider minus is being transformed into pluses. That's why this land does not have any border, limit. So at the beginning of the 5th volume of Kyogyo Shinsho, the 5th volume is entitled The True Buddha and the True Land. True Buddha and True Land. So actually, in Kyogyo Shinsho, 1st volume talks about larger sutra, largest. 2nd volume talks about this medicine. 3rd volume talks about this Shinjin, taking medicine. And 4th volume talks about this recovery process. And 5th volume talks about this nature of the true Buddha and true land. And 6th volume talks about this provisional Buddha and the provisional land. That's the structure of Kyogyo Shinsho. So at the beginning of the 5th volume, where Shinran talks about what defines true Buddha and the true land. This is a sentence. Okay? At the beginning of 5th volume of Kyogyo Shinsho, Shinran defines the true Buddha and true land this way. Shinran says, reverently contemplating the true Buddha and the true land, I find the Buddha is the Tathagata of inconceivable light. So with this one term, Shinran defines Buddha. What is true Buddha? He says Tathagata of inconceivable light. Notice that Shinran never used the word life in defining Buddha or Buddha land. Okay, and now he defines the true land. Okay, that's the true land. The land, true land, is also the land of immeasurable light. Here, see, when he defines the Buddhahood or pure land, he always uses the word light, light, because they have arisen through the fulfillment of vows, two vows. So vow, plural, vows of two vows of great compassion. They are called the fulfilled Buddha and land. They are relevant. There are relevant vows that were made. Those two Buddha lands are two vows are the vows of light and of life. Okay? So you remember 12th vow. 12th vow is a vow of limitless light. Okay? And the 13th vow is the vow of the limitless life. Okay? 12th vow is the vow of the limitless light, limitless light. So here, look at this, okay? So since Dharmakara started practices, he awakened his desire to to create his pure and Buddhahood. Okay, so this is a process. His aspiration to create his Buddhahood. Okay, so they're twofold here. See, twofold. This twofold. Okay, so this, see, I like to say this side is 12th vow. This side is 13th vow. Okay? So he fulfilled his vows, these two vows, and he became Buddha like this. Okay, so I've been spelling this, and you may have been wondering why I put these, two lines here and say two, because this is a Buddhahood, Amida Dharmakara fulfilled. Okay, so 12th vow. This is the wisdom. Okay, and this is 13. This is the compassion. Okay? And this land. See, now this at the beginning of the fifth volume, Shinran said the Buddha. See, this Buddha is called the Buddha of inconceivable light. Okay? Inconceivable light. Actually, this is two types of wisdom. I explained that prajna and jnana. Second, with basic wisdom, and subsequently acquired wisdom. Second wisdom is synonymous with compassion. See, that's why we say with wisdom and compassion. So this Buddha, see, Buddhahood consists of wisdom and compassion. And he says this land is called the land of immeasurable light. And he says this land consists of 12th vow and the 13th vow. See? So both the Buddhahood and the land has the fulfillment of the 12th vow. So this is the Buddha of limitless wisdom, limitless compassion. This is a land of limitless wisdom and limitless compassion. Okay, so this is the content of Amida Buddhahood and content of Pure Land, and this same spiritual quality is contained in this Nama Amida Butsu. See, Nama Amida Butsu. Nama Amida. Amida. See, Amida means this. So naturally, see, and you notice this arrow this way, see, because 12, this wisdom, okay, this wisdom explained, okay, this wisdom is a wisdom samsara to nirvana, samsara to nirvana. This is this direction, okay, and this compassion is this going back to samsara here. See, so that this 12 and this is 13. So this Buddhahood contains these two wisdoms, going wisdom and returning wisdom. See? I talked about these two aspects of Buddhahood. See? Or, if you have this alone, this is the Hinayana Nirvana, Hinayana Buddhahood. Shakyamuni attained it, but later when he stood up, okay, and he became a dynamic Buddha, then he returned here. So see, this is the content of Amida Buddhahood. See? So this 12 means this side. This means this side. Okay? So this is Mahayana. If you have this alone, this is just individual happiness. This is what a seeker or practitioner is seeking, individual happiness. Okay? Self-alone, self-happiness alone. But here, self-benefiting. If self-benefiting alone, like this self-benefiting alone, you end up in creating your type of Buddhism. Stay there complacently. They cannot get out of it. But here, you go there and return to this world. This is what Dharmakara symbolized, what Amida Buddha symbolized. Never staying this side, never staying, or endlessly going back and forth here. See? This is Mahayana. That's why I've been spelling this, these two aspects, going aspect, returning. This is a going aspect of 12th vow. 13th, this is a returning aspect. See? So this is very important. See? I have a couple of quotations here. These are all Shinran's words. Okay? Shinran talks about this meaning of the land of immeasurable light. Okay? Shinran says, darkness of ignorance is immediately broken through, and quickly reaching the land of immeasurable light, So this is a land. Okay, this is a land, or this is a land. Okay, this is a kind of Amida Buddha is a kind of fictional story. Okay? This is talking about this principle, universal principle. Okay? Universal principle, and this same wisdom, okay? Same wisdom and compassion, actualized in historical context. Okay? This is the same thing here, actually, in the historical Buddhas. Okay? These are historical Buddhas, like Shakyamuni Buddha. Okay? And Shakyamuni Buddha had his Sangha. Okay? Sangha. This is a pure land. The same thing. So Amida's pure land is ever expanding. The Shakyamuni's land is ever expanding. So those who are born into this land or this is actually the same thing. This is a symbol, a universal symbol, or kind of common denominator underlying all historical Buddhas. Okay? So this is the kind of underlying principle, universal principle. But this actual historical Buddhas. Okay? So same thing, but this is a kind of doctrinal explanation, universal Buddha. This is a historical Buddha. This is underlying all historical Buddhas. Okay? So anyway, we can say this is the same thing, but this is a fictional, okay? It's a doctrinal context, but this is the actual historical context. So when Shakyamuni is alive, people are born into Shakyamuni's spiritual world. Okay? So this is the true land, or the land of immeasurable light. Okay? So here, quickly, the land of immeasurable light, one realizes great nirvana. This is Mahayana nirvana. This is Hinayana nirvana, but this is Mahayana nirvana. These two wisdom, this is Mahayana wisdom. So act in accordance with the virtue of Samantabhadra. Okay. Samantabhadra practice means this. This is the Prajna Paramita practices. Okay. To attain this first type of wisdom, Prajna Paramita practice. To attain the second wisdom, returning wisdom, people are engaged in Samantabhadra practice. So this word Samantabhadra practice is very important, mentioned in these passages. Okay. So now, next one. Okay. When foolish beings of delusion and defilement awaken Shinjin, they realize that birth and death is itself nirvana. See? Yeah, birth and death, this samsara. So here, see, samsara and nirvana are dualistically opposite. Okay, here in Hinayana, samsara, leaving samsara and attaining nirvana. Clear-cut division here. Okay, but here, see, nirvana and samsara, with this wisdom, non-dualistic wisdom, wisdom that transforms the negative into positive, duality between the samsara nirvana disappears. Samsara becomes nirvana. Okay? That's the meaning of this. See? This has clear, this is a pure place, but outside is impure. This is a nirvana, but this is samsara. Clear-cut division. This. But here, as I said, nirvana or pure land is expanding here, incorporating samsara into, transforming samsara into here, limitlessly transforming the negative samsara into nirvana. The distinction between dualistic distinction exists here, but not here. That's why this says they realize, well, samsara is nirvana. Samsara become part of nirvana. Or the impure land becoming part of pure land. And without fail, they reach the land of immeasurable light. This is the word I use it, and universally guide sentient beings to enlightenment. Okay. So Samantabhadra practice. Okay. This practice, returning bodhisattva takes a practice. Two types of practices. Giving offering to Buddhas. giving offering to Buddhas. What does it mean? That's visiting Buddhas and learn wisdom from them. So this is the expression, giving offering to Buddhas. Many translators translate giving offerings to Buddhas, but I would rather translate visiting all the Buddhas in order to learn wisdom. That's the meaning of it. But traditionally translator literally translate this as giving offerings to Buddha. What does it mean, giving offerings to? But they give offerings to the Buddha because they want to hear the Dharma and receive this Dharma from the teachers, Buddhas. Okay? That's what implication, deeper implication. Okay? It's not just giving gift, that's important. Okay? This is the expression to seek the Dharma, okay? Giving offering to. And they receive wisdom, and same time, another part of Samantabhadra practice is enlightening all sentient beings. Okay? So that two types of practices are contained in Samantabhadra practices. So these are the practices, Samantabhadra practices, giving offering to Buddha, enlightening people. These are the practices Dharmakara performs. This is the most important part of Dharmakara's practice. Okay? Usually people think about practices this way to become a Buddha. But this Bodhisattva, returning Bodhisattva's practices are the most important part of Shinran's teaching. In the above quotes, Shinran uses the term the land of immeasurable light to refer to a place where one engages in Samantabhadra practices. I explained, okay? When you are born in the land of immeasurable land, now you can engage in Samantabhadra practice. Okay? And the Shinran emphasizes that the land of immeasurable light is not a place where a person enjoys his individual happiness. Okay? So Shinran uses the land of immeasurable light that contrasted with this world of self-benefiting alone. Okay? This is the place you enjoy your individual happiness. So land of immeasurable light is not a place where you enjoy your happiness. Okay? It is remarkable that in defining the true land, Shinran does not use terms such as Gokuraku Koku. Gokuraku Koku means a country of extreme happiness, or Andakoku, the country of happiness, and Muryojukoku, the country of immeasurable light, which traditional Pure Land masters of his time often used. Traditional Pure Land masters most commonly use the word or the term Gokuraku Koku, the country of extreme happiness. Shinran Shonin says that does not use these commonly used terms when he defines a true land. Okay? He just says land of immeasurable light. Okay? He hated to use the word happiness or peace or country of long life or something. These are the plus values people long for. Okay? But Shinran Shonin is very careful. So traditional Pure Land master most commonly use the word term Gokuraku Koku. This is the most popularly used concept, okay? The country of extreme happiness. Shinran Shonin never even once used this term in his Kyogyo Shinsho. Eh? You understand? Shinran does not think that Pure Land is a happy land designed for our individual enjoyment or individual welfare. Okay? So Shinran's view of Pure Land is so much different from the idea of Pure Land that the other Pure Land masters and Pure Land followers entertain. Okay? General public also loved this term, but Shinran seems to have intentionally refused to use it. Just this word he uses, defining Pure Land. He said Pure Land or true land. He says land of immeasurable light. He doesn't use any other terms to define the true land. Okay, now next section is very important. Okay, the person who attains birth in the land of immeasurable light returns to the world of samsara. I said, so the, people attain birth. This is the pure land, okay, or the true land. Or we could say Shakyamuni's land or our teacher's land. The land in the spiritual realm of wisdom. Okay, this is a world of wisdom. Okay? Spiritual realm, not the geographical realm. Okay, I've been telling you. Okay, this is a world of wisdom, compassion, wisdom, compassion. Okay, those who are born in this land, okay, they receive this wisdom, this wisdom. So they no way they are allowed to stay here to enjoy individual happiness. Okay, here too. Okay, so that's why these people. So Shinjin, okay, when meeting a teacher and being shaken by this person has this Shinjin, okay, this Namman Daots has 12 bar and 13 bar wisdom, this and compassion. Okay, this and this are the content of this Namami Daots. And Shinjin, Shina says, Shinjin, this is the 12 and the 13 too. If you, in your mind, if Shinjin awakens, this true wisdom is given. So this part may make you to be born in Pure Land. This is the 12th part. Then you are not allowed to make a happy place for your place. Okay? That's what we want usually here. This is a regular Pure Land idea people seek, okay? Because people are attached to dualistic thinking and want to have my kind of happiness, my kind of Pure Land. See, aren't you thinking about that? Most of us, all of us, when we start to study Buddhism, we have only human wisdom. On the basis of human wisdom, we long for a happy place where we have all positive values. We reject minus values. These reject minus, imagine that wonderful place. So many people talk about, after I die, I go to Pure Land, I can see my relatives, my friends. And that's a place, wonderful place, nice climate, and I don't lack anything. Only wonderful things. Is the kind of Pure Land people I'm imagining, or have been imagining that kind of Pure Land? Then Shinran say that is his Hinayana mentality. This is the palace you're creating, your kind of place. That's no authentic Pure Land. True birth is that you are born into the world of true Buddha, the Buddha, you're born into the true land, then you receive two types of wisdom and God. Naturally, you have experienced individual happiness, no doubt about it, but not that alone. You now have desire to abandon this happy place and go back to the world of samsara. That's what this section says, okay? People once born in the Pure Land of happiness later conceive in their hearts the wish to be born in the three realms. See, now you are born in the Pure Land, but now you wish to be born in the world of samsara, okay? To teach and guide sentient beings. They then abandon their life in the Pure Land and receive birth in the world of samsara in accordance with their aspiration. This is aspiration, marker's aspiration. Though they are born into the flames of various births in the three realms, the seed of extreme enlightenment will not rot. Why? Because they are sustained by the good of Amida. See? If you are born into the Pure Land, you receive Amida's aspiration. And Amida doesn't allow you to stay and seek individual happiness. Amida tells you to leave this place and go back to the place where you come from. That's the best place for your seeking the Dharma. See? Okay, now let us read the Shinran's words. Okay? Shinran's words. The countless great bodhisattvas of the land of happiness have reached the succession to Buddhahood after one life. That means the stage that the Shinjin person attains according to Shinran. Entering the compassionate activity of Samantabhadra, they unfailingly work to save sentient beings in defiled world. They work in the defiled world. And next one, those who reach the pure land of happiness return to this evil world of the five defilements. Here returns it, and where, like the Buddha Shakyamuni, they benefit sentient beings without limit. This wisdom, self-benefiting, others benefiting. First type of wisdom make you go to the land of happiness. The second type of wisdom, this is the most important part. This is the land of Dharmakara's aspiration. This is the land of Dharmakara's aspiration. The Dharmakara's aspiration is such that he doesn't allow you to enjoy individual happiness here. He tells you go out this and return to the world of suffering, world of defilements. Work for the liberation of humanity. See? That's a Samantabhadra practice. You keep on deepening your wisdom. You keep on deepening compassion endlessly. Never staying creating home here or here. See? And this is the eternal practice. This is called Mahayana Nirvana, homeless Nirvana. You don't create home here because of wisdom. You don't create home here because of compassion. Eternally, this is a Mahayana Nirvana. This is what Shinran is talking about. See? So when you are born in the true land, land of immeasurable light, see? You are pure land, your land. So here, you have this pure land here, okay, pure land. This land, so it never fixed, no fixed border. This keeps on expanding, okay? Expanding like this. See, just like this never-ending process. See, this is called the limitless light, limitless compassion. See? Never-ending, not limited. Okay, this is a limited wisdom, not limited. The Dharmakara symbolize this eternal seeker's mind, eternally seeking spirit. Okay, that's what the Dharmakara symbolizes. So when we are born into the Dharmakara's land of aspiration, we receive the power of this, and this power of aspiration keeps us going and return to this world. Okay? Now I want to read part of my book. Okay, probably you know I published the book Dharma Breeze. Okay, Dharma Breeze. This section is directly connected with what we've been studying. Okay? This section is talking about the meaning of a true land, or the land of immeasurable light. Okay. Now let me see how true birth in the Pure Land is described in the verses about the Eastern Quarter, Toboge, in the second volume of the larger Sutra. These verses describe innumerable bodhisattvas who are born in the Pure Land from the eastern direction. Anyway, this section, these verses called the Toboge, very important. It's these verses are in the second volume of larger Sutra, okay, talking about the returning bodhisattvas. Okay. That's what I've been talking about, the main topic today. Okay. So let me continue. Okay. When those bodhisattvas are born in the Pure Land, Amida tells them that they share the same innermost aspiration that he has. He tells them that they will unfailingly fulfill their innermost aspiration. They will become Buddhas and create their pure lands that are no different from his own pure land. Then In order to perfect the innermost aspiration, those bodhisattvas engage in the visitation practice. This is Samantabhadra practice, the same practice that Dharmakara performed to become a Buddha and go out of the Pure Land to visit innumerable Buddhas. After having visited and studied under them, they return to Amida's Pure Land. This way, they perfect their Buddhahood by traveling back and forth between Amida's Pure Land and innumerable Buddhas in samsara. Okay. Amida, whose essence is an ever-expanding spirit, does not allow bodhisattvas to make their comfortable dwelling place in the Pure Land. He encourages them to forget about their dualistic ideas, to go out of the Pure Land and to learn from all sentient beings, regarding them as Buddhas. This way, the larger sutra talks about true birth as birth in Amida's innermost aspiration, in the spirit that endlessly goes out of the Pure Land to seek oneness with all sentient beings. In order to further explain the two types of birth, let me tell a story about Mr. A high school student who desires to enter a college. The college that Mr. A desires to enter is famous for Professor B. Mr. A has heard of the professor's reputation and he desires to study under him. Mr. A believes that the college is a wonderful place where he can perfect his knowledge. Then Mr. A passes the entrance examination and enters the college. Now the school begins, and Mr. A goes to Professor B's class. Mr. A is thinking that Professor B's instruction in the class will perfect his knowledge. But as soon as Professor B comes to the class, he tells his students, the ultimate goal in learning does not exist here in this class, in this college. The most important thing that you student must learn about is the reality that exists outside the college. Here you must learn the importance of your field work. You must go out of this college and appreciate the things and the people in the real world. Although you may think that this college and the real world you have left behind are two different worlds. That's not so. If you truly understand my instruction, you will understand that the real world is part of this college. It is an extension of this college. The only important thing about your education here is that you can learn the importance of field work. So you must travel back and forth between this classroom and your field work. These challenging words of the professor come to Mr. A as a surprise, as a shocking and challenging lesson, because Mr. A has been thinking that the college is the only place where he can perfect his knowledge, and the world outside the college is not the place for learning. Now Mr. A must revise his view. According to the professor, the real world that he has left behind is actually the most important place for learning, and it is to that world that Mr. A must return. I have composed this story in order to explain the two types of birth. In this story, provisional birth means Mr. A's initial entrance into the college. Mr. A mistakenly thought that his goal was to be found in the college and his knowledge would be perfected there. True birth means Mr. A's second entrance, his entrance into the mind of Professor B. It means that Mr. A's appreciation of Professor B's view that the most important thing is field work outside the college. Although Mr. A initially thought the goal was to be found in the college, he now realized it is to be found in field work. So I made up this story to show that two different types of birth, provisional birth and true birth. The provisional birth, this is the college, this is the college. Okay? So Mr. A thought everything will finish here. Okay? He will get the degree, and this is the goal. He thought this is the goal. College education is the goal, where he perfect his wisdom. Goal was in the college. That's what he thought. If you think that way, in terms of the birth in Pure Land, that's a Hinayana. Just you're envisioning your type of Pure Land. But surprisingly, as soon as the Professor B comes into the class, first class, he tells, don't think this college has a goal for you. Goal is going out of this place. This college is important because this is a place where you learn the importance of going out of the college, and you consider the learning in the field work the most important thing. Okay? This is Samantabhadra practice. This is a returning bodhisattva. So deepest aspiration, so-called Hongan, the deepest human aspiration that the Dharma symbolizes. This is a land, but if you are born into this land, so that you are born into the mind, the spirit of Professor B. He wants you to leave the place. That's the whole purpose of being born in the Pure Land. The true land is ever expanding. There are no border here. Field work, it's in field work that you truly develop in your deepest wisdom. Okay, now let's study these verses. Okay, I made up this story of Mr. A and Professor B on the basis of these verses called the Toboge. Verses about the Eastern Quarter in the second volume of the larger Sutra, the textual basis of returning bodhisattvas. Okay, now, actually, I divided these 20 verses into 3 sections. First 7 verses. Here, bodhisattvas visit Amida and praise him. The Buddha lands in the Eastern Quarter are as numerous as the sand of the Ganges. The bodhisattvas in those Buddha lands go to pay reverence to the infinitely enlightened one. This is Amida Buddha. Okay? And so then the second verse, the Buddha lands in the southern, western, northern, and 4 intermediate quarters, as well as above and below, are also like this. The bodhisattvas in those Buddha lands go to pay reverence to the infinitely enlightened one. So these 2 verses are saying that there are 10 directions and innumerable number of bodhisattvas are wishing to be born in Pure Land, and they're coming to be born in the Amida's Pure Land. Okay? So these verses are talking about the bodhisattvas coming from the eastern direction. These are the bodhisattvas who described in this fulfillment path. Okay? These are those people who are at attained true birth. These people, truly settled people, they are the bodhisattvas being born into Amidas. That's how it goes. Okay, now verse number 3. All those bodhisattvas, each bringing exquisite celestial flowers, precious incense, and priceless clothes, make offerings to the infinitely enlightened one. Okay, I talked about this. So this is kind of a typical way describing the action of the bodhisattvas who are visiting Amida Buddha. Okay? And you make offering to the Buddha. Okay? And here, not only the flowers, they offer the music, playing celestial music in concert and producing harmonious, elegant sounds. They praise the most excellent one. This is Amida Buddha with verses and make offerings to the infinitely enlightened one. See? So repeatedly talk about the importance of this expressing the desire to receive wisdom. Okay. Now, next, you have, and these are the praise, of the words of praise by the bodhisattvas. They're praising Amida, virtue of Amida, particularly wisdom. Okay? So bodhisattvas say, okay, you have fully acquired supernatural powers and wisdom, freely entered the gates of the profound Dharma, and perfected the treasury of virtues. Peerless indeed is your excellent wisdom. And next verse 6, your wisdom is like the sun illuminates the world. Throughout the larger sutra, the focus is on the wisdom or light or wisdom. Having seen that the land of glorious purity, most wonderful, wondrous, and beyond comparison, conception, they thereby awaken the supreme mind and wish their land to be like this. So he bodhisattvas performing worship and praise. The same practices that bodhisattva dharma perform. Okay? So here we can see the similarity between the bodhisattvas practices, these bodhisattva practices, and Dharmakara's practices. Okay? Dharmakara, after worshipping and praising, he said, I made vows. I awakened my aspiration to be a Buddha, exactly like you. These bodhisattvas say the same thing. Okay? They thereby awaken the supreme aspiration. Okay? And I wish my land, my pure land, will be exactly like yours. This is the same expression Dharmakara had toward his teacher. Okay, so that's what happens here in this first section, 7 verses. Okay, now they enter into the Pure Land. Okay, Pure Land, and Amida Buddha is so happy to welcome. Okay, verse 8, from verse 8 to verse 15. These are all concerned. These verses concerned Amida's teaching, instruction to the bodhisattvas who have just arrived. Okay, so verse 8. Then the immeasurably honored one, this is Amida Buddha, changes his expression and smiles with delight. From his mouth are emitted countless rays of light, illuminating all the lands in the 10 quarters. These rays of light circle around him 3 times and enter the crown of his head. All devas and humans leap and dance with joy. So anyway, having welcomed these bodhisattvas, Amida Buddha smiles, okay? And then these rays of light in the mouth, out of the mouth, emitted the countless rays of light. This later illumined the lands 10 quarters, okay? It's that kind of sounds very esoteric, okay? Rays of light illuminating all the worlds and returning to the crown of his head symbolizes Amida's aspiration to enlighten all people in the 10 quarters. Okay? Light, it's a very symbolic way. It sounds very esoteric, but light coming out of his mouth, and this light, the rays of light went over the 10 directions, covering and came back to distance. And so it's a very, I think, symbolic way of describing his desire. I would enlighten all people, illumine the entire world. Enlighten symbolizes wisdom. I want to give wisdom to all humanity and liberate it. I think that's symbolic way of talking about that, okay? And somewhat esoteric. Okay, then 10, verse 10. Then Avalokiteshvara noticed, one of the greatest bodhisattvas in Pure Land, he noticed that Shakyamuni Amida smiled and asked, why do I, Mr. Amida, why do you smile? Okay, that's the Mahasattva Avalokiteshvara rearranging his robes and bowing his head, asked the Amida Buddha, for what reason are you smiling? I humbly beseech you to explain your intention. Okay. Then his august voice resounds like thunder. The 8 kinds of exquisite tone resound, proclaiming. Now, see, then we have Amida's words. Okay? And so the following section from verse 11 to 15, these are all words of Amida Buddha. See? We heard the words of Dharmakara. Okay? Dharmakara made like a Sansege or Tambutsuge or Jusege or Sansege, Sambutsuge, Jusege. These are the words of Dharmakara. 48 vows are the words of Dharmakara. So we listen to the words of Dharmakara, but we never listen to Amida's voice or Amida's words. Okay, these are 5 verses. These verses 11 through 15. These 5 verses are the only places where we can listen to the voice or the words of Amida Buddha. Very important, very important. And he answered the reason why he smiled first. Okay, so anyway, I am now going to give predictions to the bodhisattvas. I will now explain. Listen closely. The Mahasattvas, these bodhisattvas coming from the 10 directions, make vows of which I am fully aware. So these bodhisattvas made vows like I wish I make vows that my lands will be exactly like Amida's. See? I want to become a Buddha exactly like Amida. See? So these are the vows. Okay? So see, these bodhisattvas made vows of which I am fully aware. Suddenly, Dharmakara made same vows. See? So Amida is saying here, these bodhisattvas came up with the same vows I made when I was bodhisattva Dharmakara. They seek to establish lands adorned with purity. See? Receiving my predictions, they will surely become Buddhas. They will surely create the pure land like mine. They will realize the Buddhahood that is identical with mine. Amida smiled because he sees in Bodhisattva the same innermost aspiration about that he had when he was Bodhisattva Dharmakara. Amida's giving predictions to Bodhisattva means that Bodhisattvas will realize the same Buddhahood, the pure land that Amida realized. Okay, now verses 13 to 15. These are very important. Okay, these 3 verses are so important. Actually, there are 3 verses, but the content of each vow is almost identical. Okay, he repeats the same, Amita repeats the same message 3 times, okay? 13, 14, 15 verses, okay? Okay, so let me read these. These are very important, okay? Very important verses. While realizing that all things are like dreams, illusions, or echoes, they will fulfill their excellent vows and without fail establish lands such as mine. While knowing that things are like lightning flashes and mirages, they pursue the bodhisattva path to the utmost, possessing all roots of virtue, just as I predict, they will surely become Buddhas. Although they thoroughly know the true nature of all things, that all is empty and has no substance, they will solely seek such pure Buddha lands and without fail establish lands such as mine. The 3 verses from 13 to 15 say that these bodhisattvas have transcended the danger of being immersed in emptiness that is caused by their attachment to basic wisdom, the danger of becoming a Hinayana Buddha, and gained the subsequently acquired wisdom, jnana, that enables them to become a Mahayana Buddha. See? This is, these 3 vows are talking about the same issue I discussed last week about Shakyamuni's experience, danger of becoming a Hinayana Buddha. See, do you remember? Shakyamuni attained enlightenment. He gained insight into the emptiness of the self. Prajna wisdom, first basic wisdom, made Shakyamuni gain insight into the emptiness of the self. So he was so happy and attained this Dharma conditional arising. And now I know self does not exist. So being liberated from suffering because suffering was caused by attachment to the self. Okay, now he understood that self does not exist. He gained insight into the emptiness. That was enlightenment, okay? But if we stayed with that enlightenment, he just was attached to that enlightenment, he must have ended up becoming a Hinayana Buddha. Okay? He was sitting Buddha. He was static Buddha, okay? And enjoying his individual attainment. And he had no desire to go back to the world. He said, it's perfectly all right. I die with this attainment. I'm so happy. I have no desire to go back to it. If I died with that attainment, personal happiness alone, then he became a Praceka Buddha, Lona Buddha, a Hinayana Buddha. See? So attaining the truth of emptiness is very important. Wisdom, okay? Insight into emptiness is very important. But if one becomes attached to it, it becomes a danger. Yeah, this is called the six paramita practice. This is the prajna, okay? But this 7th stage here, 7th stage, this is a very dangerous place because if you have just this wisdom alone, you just become attached to it and you just die with this. Then you become a Hinayana Buddha. This is the danger of being immersed in emptiness. But fortunately, he stood up and he became a dynamic Buddha and returned it. So this is the Hinayana Buddha. This is the Mahayana Buddha. See, these 3 verses are talking about that. Shakyamuni Amita is repeating the same message. Although you gained insight in emptiness, and although you have this danger, you have overcome it. And now you awaken the same Honggang aspiration or awaken, and you couldn't just sit still. Okay? Just I wasn't able to sit still. Shakyamuni would say, okay? You awaken the same aspiration, Mahayana aspiration, I awaken. Okay? That Amida Buddha would say, Shakyamuni would say. See, by awakening the Hona aspiration to go back, this danger was overcome. See, so these three verses are talking about the same thing. Here, let me read that 13th. While realizing all things are like dreams, illusions, or echoes, see, this insight into emptiness, transitoriness. Oh, verse 14. While knowing that things are like lightning, flashes, and mirages, this same thing. See, insight into emptiness, like lightning, mirage, empty. Okay. On verse 15, although they thoroughly know the true nature of things, that all is empty, empty. See, this is the insight into emptiness, prajna wisdom, and no substance. No substance is no Atman. See? No self, no substance. Atman means substance. Okay? No, anatman means substancelessness. No entity, empty, empty. So these three verses talking about this. Although you gain the insight into emptiness, and although there is a danger for you to become attached to it and become hinayana, but you overcome that danger. That's what it means here. They will fulfill excellent vows, okay? Vows, Mahayana vows, and without fail establish lands such as mine. You will create the same pure land I create. And they pursue, verse 14, pursue the bodhisattva path. Mahayana bodhisattvas to the utmost, possessing all roots of virtue, just as I predict, they will surely become Mahayana Buddhas. Okay? And then verse 15, they will solely seek such pure Buddha lands and without fail establish lands such as mine. See? This land with limitless wisdom, limitless wisdom. See? This is Amida's land, or world of wisdom and compassion, Mahayana Nirvana. See? Yeah, so these three vows. So that's what the Amida wants to say. See? Amida Pure Land is there to teach people to transcend this danger of attaining this land designed for one's happiness alone. That's a danger. Okay? Being born in Pure Land, meeting Amida's spirit, Amida will tell you, okay? This is not the place for you to enjoy your individual happiness. The reason you're born here is that you come here to learn my spirit of going out of Pure Land. See? That's what these three verses are talking about. Okay? And the last five verses are the words of these encouraging words of these Buddhas. Okay? These are Buddhas in 17th vow. They are constantly encouraging these people, okay, to have Shinjin, to be born in Pure Land. So now these historical Buddhas, they are encouraging. Okay? So that these last five verses are talking the words of these Buddhas, okay, historical Buddhas, encouraging Bodhisattva. So okay, now verse 16. The Buddhas tell the Bodhisattvas to go to pay homage to the Buddha of peace and substance. Okay, this is Amida Buddha. Okay, so Buddhas, these historical Buddhas are telling them to go to visit Amida Buddha, okay? and listen to his teaching, joyfully accept in the practice it, so that you may swiftly reach the realm of purity. Okay? So these are words of encouraging words of the Buddhas. Upon reaching the land adorned with purity, you will quickly acquire supernatural powers without fail from the immeasurably honored one. You will receive predictions and realize perfect enlightenment. So Amida would tell you, see, without fail, you will become Buddhas, exactly like when they will attain the Buddhahood. That is precisely like mine. You will create a Pure Land that is precisely like mine. Okay, that's the predictions Amida Buddha gives to Buddha. Okay? The power of the Buddha's primal vow is such that those who hearing the name aspire for birth are all reach the Pure Land, and their attainment of non-retrogression comes about of itself. This verse 18 is very important. Shinran Shonin consider this verse 18 as identical with identical with the three vow fulfillment passage. He quotes this passage at least 4 times in his writing. Very important. He considered one place in his writing he quoted I think 3 passages from entire so 3 he extracted 3 short passages from the entire larger sutra. This was one of the 3 passages. To that extent, Shinra considered this very important as the 3 vow fulfillment statement. Okay, verse 19. The bodhisattvas make their excellent vows, each wishing my land as well will not be different from this. They aspire to emancipate all beings everywhere and have their names known throughout the 10 quarters. Having received predictions and the power of innermost aspiration from Amida Buddha, the Bodhisattva engage in practices that Bodhisattva Mahakala performed. They will attain the same Buddhahood, same Buddhahood Amida attain. This is a very important part of Jodo Shinshu teaching. Okay, we are supposed to attain Amida Buddhahood. Okay, goal of Jodo Shinshu is that we attain the same attainment, same Buddhahood that Amida Buddha attained. Okay, please remember. Okay, Larger Sutra teaches us that we are going to attain Amida Buddhahood. That's what this is. See? So the worshipping Amida Buddha is not the goal. Desiring to be born in Pure Land is not the goal. Okay? The attaining, realizing the same Buddhahood, Amida Buddhahood is goal, creates the Pure Land, same Pure Lands. Okay? It's our goal. Okay? This is very important. Okay? It's so obvious. Okay? Many people think, oh, we're supposed to worship Amida. Oh, we are supposed to be born in Pure Land. That's not Buddhism. Okay? We're supposed to become Buddhas. We're supposed to have our world of wisdom realized. Okay? If we have become Buddha, person of wisdom, certainly we have the realm, spiritual realm of wisdom. Okay? This Buddhahood and Pure Land are no different from Amidas. Okay? This is what this Larger Sutra is. So studying Larger Sutra is so important. Okay? Read the original text. And these are the basis of Shinran's teaching. Shinran would say, I don't say anything else but what's mentioned in the Larger Sutra. Okay? And the last verse here, in order to serve the millions of Tathagatas, they employ their miraculous powers to fly to all lands. After paying homage to them with joy, they paying homage to them means all Buddhas in 10 directions. They take their leave and return to the pure land of peace. See, so these bodhisattvas never make home here. Eternally, see, deepening wisdom, deepening compassion. See, so this is what the Dharmakara did, and this is the Mahayana. It's called homeless nirvana. Okay, they contrasted with Hinayana nirvana here. Okay, so. Okay, that's all about these verses. So let me conclude. Okay, let me just conclude all my discussion. Okay, so we have studied the theme of this lecture series is the 2nd volume of Larger Sutra. Okay, 2nd volume of Larger Sutra. The 2nd volume of Larger Sutra has several important topics, but I believe the most important topics is is two types of birth. Two types of birth in the provisional birth and true birth. And so I discussed the three major sections in the second half of second volume of Larger Sutra. Three sections. So in the second class, when I discussed the provisional birth, I read the passages. I read the passages that talked about the two types of birth, the provisional birth and true birth. Technically, the like birth and transformative birth. A long passage we read in the second class. But our main focus was on discussion on provisional birth. So we read that the passages concerning two types of birth. That was in second class. And in the last week's class, the third class, we talked about the three vow fulfillment statement that appeared at the very beginning of the second volume of Larger Sutra. I think I considered the most important textual basis in all Buddhist literature. Okay, that appeared at the beginning of the second volume. So that three vow fulfillment talks about the true birth. And today's class, in the fourth and final class, I discussed the third important section in the Larger Sutra. That is Hoboge, 20 verses, returning bodhisattvas. What happens to practitioners who are born in Pure Land? So the last week I talked about the meaning of a true birth, and in today's class I talked about the same issue, that birth in the true birth, or the birth in the true land. I explained Shinran's view of the true land. He defines it, the land of immeasurable life. This is not the land that has limited border. It is ever expanding. That this Buddhism wisdom is expanding. So the people go out of the so-called Pure Land and keep expanding this border. Because Buddha's wisdom doesn't have any distinction between minus values and plus values, samsara or nirvana. So foolish people or Buddha, no distinction like that. There are those distinctions that exist here in the world of human wisdom, theoretic wisdom. But this is the world in which people experience the transformation of minus values into plus value. Deluded people become Buddhas, and that's the practice Dharmakara worship all humanity as Buddhas. And he considered hellish places of worst suffering. He considered that place to be the most ideal place for learning wisdom. That's why, last verse of Samutsuge, famous verse, even if I were to stay in the midst of hell, worst hell, I don't mind staying there. I keep on seeking Dharma forever, endlessly. I will change this hellish place into pure. That's what Dharmakara spirit means. Okay, these are final words here. Okay? So now I hope you understand. Shinran was a Mahayana teacher, and he considered the Larger Sutra so important because it is a Mahayana Sutra. Larger Sutra, most important teaching of Larger Sutra is that it teaches us the spirit of Bodhisattva Dharmakara. So the Bodhisattva Dharmakara is not happy with staying in the happy place. He is not happy staying in a place of individual happiness. So what Shinran really wants to tell us is that in Buddhism, Jodo Shinshu is a teaching of a Larger Sutra, teaching of Mahayana Buddhism, bodhisattva spirit. See? That means that the goal of Buddhism is that we attain two types of wisdom, see? Two types of, and keeps on seeking this, eternally seeking wisdom. We never have any fixed place to stay. Okay? But here, this Pure Land, see, this is a commonly taught Pure Land. See? Many, so I could say most of the Pure Land masters before Shinran talked about this kind of Pure Land and taught people practice, engage in practice, chant Namandavas. The happy place is there after death waiting for you. Seek happiness to be born in there. See, this is such a one side. This Shinran would say, this is the Hinayana Buddhism. Don't confuse this with the teaching of Mahayana, teaching of larger Sutra. We are born into the spirit of Dharmakara Bodhisattva. Innermost spirit, Hongan spirit is a spirit that endlessly seek meaning in the world of suffering. That's where you have to be born. Okay, so Shinran's teaching is so different from the commonly taught Pure Land teachings. Okay, if you succeeded in telling you that Shinran's teaching of Pure Land is so different from the teaching of Pure Land taught by other teachers. Okay, if I accomplish that one thing alone, I think I succeeded in talking about the Shinran's teaching. Okay, thank you. This is spiritual dharma. See? Life is change, impermanence, constant flow of life. You're not allowed to define anything or grab at anything. Okay? So that's very important. Okay? Shinran himself too, throughout his life, he kept on seeking and learning. And we are so easy to grab at things of the fixed values. Oh, this is my kind of life, my kind of Shinji, my kind of birth and Kyona. See? They have some kind of need to grab at something. So this way, or this way, this is the common way we have. We want answers. We want to feel good. We want to feel happy. That's not what Shinran teaches. Okay, spirit of Dharma kept Shinran going and going. Okay? The only thing Shinran accomplished was studentship. He said, "I'm not a teacher. I don't have even one single disciple." He never can't identify himself as a teacher because to be a teacher, you must have fixed answers. But Shinran himself was a perpetual seeker. I'm no teacher. I'm a student. I just keep listening and listening. That's the only thing, receiving wisdom. That's the only thing I'm interested in. That's what Dharmakara spirit means, eternal student. Okay? That is the people, modern history, starting from Kiyozawa sensei, Manshi Kiyozawa, none of them claim to be teachers. Okay? That's what the Jodo Shinshu is all about. Okay? We are not allowed to grab at any fixed answer. Life is change. Okay? Constantly, life is constantly new and fresh. We have to keep this fresh, kind of naive spirit of studentship. There aren't many people like that in this world. There are many eminent scholars, preachers, providers of theories, answers, and conclusions. No, true Buddhism, not there. Maybe they have published many books and very popular, but that popularity doesn't mean anything. Humble and dynamic student. That spirit alone counts. I don't believe in the eminent scholars. I'm very much skeptical about the famous Buddhist teachers. They're providing answers. They're catering to the needs of the state. True seekers never cater to the needs the people. Because people needs are dualistic needs. That's not where true Buddhism exists.